We are less than a year out from voters picking the next governor of Wisconsin. And for the first time in 16 years, there's an open race in both parties. Caroline Dade sat down with Republican Josh Schoemann to talk about his goal of going from being in charge of Washington County to running Wisconsin.
Every election, someone has to be the first to get into the race. You have that title for this cycle. Josh Schoemann, why do you want to be Wisconsin's next governor?
Yeah, first, greatest showman. It's not about being governor, it's about what I want to do. And, my entire lifetime, I'm 44 years old, we've been watching our kids graduate high school, graduate college, leave the state, and too often never come back. We've called it the brain drain, we've called it other things. But now we're seeing our retirees doing the same thing, right? They go down to Florida or Arizona or Texas for the sunshine, warm weather in January, can't blame them. But then their CPA says, why don't you just stay down there for 6 months and one day? And it's not like we're just talking about millionaires and billionaires. There's working class people who are doing the same thing. If we're losing our grandparents and we're losing our kids, Wisconsin's got a problem, and I have a plan to fix it as governor.
What is that plan?
Well, I think it starts with our income tax and property taxes, which are too high and are driving people out. I mean, embarrassingly, Wisconsin's top bracket of the income tax is almost double what Illinois' is. Property taxes, you're seeing all across Wisconsin, especially with Governor Evers' 402-year veto, significant increases, potentially driving retirees and grandparents out of homes. Meanwhile, young people, it's preventing them from even getting into a home. The cost of owning a home to begin with, the average price in Wisconsin is almost $350,000. In Washington County, it's almost $400,000. Putting a dent in that is real. But I think the other thing is education reform. From K-12 through technical colleges and universities, we need to get our focus back on kids, not adults and bureaucracy.
Let's talk about the primary now. Your main opponent is Congressman Tom Tiffany. What sets you apart from him?
Yeah, Tom is a great guy, good congressman, wonderful legislator. We see each other occasionally, get along well, but I think the biggest couple of things between him and I is my executive experience in Washington County. I've actually run something. As county executive in the 10th largest county in the state, we've actually reduced the size of government in every metric, and meanwhile, we've actually gotten really, really good at mental health services, public safety, law enforcement in particular, roads and economic growth. We can do the same thing at the state. I'm not a no government guy, I'm not a burn it down, but I do think we need a smart and pragmatic approach where we have plans for what the future looks like.
Staying on the primary, some people might describe this as kind of a David and Goliath type situation. Tom Tiffany, more voters know his name, he's raised more money, he's gotten more endorsements from the Republican Party. What's your approach to still try to win?
Yeah, it absolutely is David and Goliath, and I love it exactly like that. Remember who won that fight. You look at the endorsements that the congressman has, it's a lot of other congressmen who aren't doing a lot of anything as we sit here and speak. I think this has got to be a race that's about the people of Wisconsin and our local communities. If we want a race that's about Washington, D.C. and Madison, then there probably is a different approach.
If you become governor, it is very possible the Democrats could control at least one chamber of the state legislature. How would you approach working across the aisle with them?
Yeah, when I'm governor in January of 2027, I expect that I'm going to have a wave of Republicans that come with me. But in the event that there's one chamber that isn't, I think they're going to find I'm very open to conversation. One of the things I've been most critical about recently is the state budget process, where Governor Evers, a Democrat, doesn't even have the Assembly Minority Leader, Greta Neubauer, sitting at the table in the final stage of the budget discussion. That's folks in the same party not talking to one another. I think it's part of what's broken with American politics and Wisconsin politics is we're too busy throwing bombs at each other, talking past one another, and we don't talk to each other.
All right, Josh Schoemann, thank you so much for taking the time. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.